Hello everyone, this is Chelsea from Those with Words. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing some shuffling of all of these pouches and cases that I am currently using. I want to reorganize their contents a bit because over time I have just filled these up without really thinking about what each one is going to be for. This video is really inspired by My Life Mitts here on YouTube, one of my favorite stationery creators, and she's done a few pouch clear out videos before where she's moved a lot of her stationery contents from one pouch to another. And for me, even though I'm not necessarily doing a clear out, I'm more, just reorganizing their contents. I just wanted to share my process with you here today. The pouch that I'm showing you right now to start is a pouch from a brand called Hinemo, and it has a pin from the Stationery Selection there, the little round pin. And I really enjoy this pen pouch because you can open it widely like so and really be able to see the contents on the inside. I have a variety of pens in here, and something that I'm taking out right now are the 5 Uniball 1 pens that I have in here. They're the gel pens. And I have them in these really pretty pastel colors, and I would love to be able to use them more regularly in my memory keeping journal. But because they're in this pouch and out of sight, they really are out of mind for me right now. So I never use them, and I wanted to change that. So I went ahead and pulled these out of the pouch and I set them aside to reorganize later on in the video. There are some other pens in here as well. I have a lot of black ink gel pens in here, but I also have these 2 pens that are sort of unrelated. So the first one here is the Zebra Click Art pen. It's like a marker. I only have one of these, and again, out of sight, out of mind. I have not really made use of this pen since I got it. And this other one is just a ballpoint pen, and it's just Animal Crossing branded. I think I bought this in Japan last year because the design of the pen was just really cute. But since it's in here, I have also not seen this for quite some time, so I'm gonna figure out a way to reorganize those things. This yellow pouch right here I'm using as sort of like an archive. So a lot of the pens in here are not being used at the moment. They're sort of pens in waiting, if you will. And it's a really gorgeous mustard yellow color. It's a pouch from the Superior Labor, and this particular colorway is in collaboration with the Stationery Selection. As you can see right there, the logo of the brand. And I have some really fun pins on it as well, so I'll come back to that later on. This will be like a theme of the video where I'm gonna go back and forth quite a bit across the different pouches and cases. So that's kind of the theme that I want to establish right now at the beginning of this video. And as I briefly mentioned earlier, these are just the black gel pens that I have. They're just from various brands. I have one from Muji, Zebra, Uni, and this one I think is Stalogy. And they all have black ink, so in my mind it makes sense to keep them together, at least for now. Then I'm gonna go ahead and go back into this Stationery Selection Superior Labor pouch. And I think I am pulling out, yes, my mild liners. So mild liners are really gently colored highlighters, and I have had a few of them for years now. And some of them are buried in here, some others are just randomly strewn across my desk because I am using them for my daily journaling. So they're kind of all over the place, and I find them a little bit difficult to spot. So what I'm going to do is, first I took those out from the other pouch, and I'm going to put that in this black pen pouch. And I am also grabbing the other ones that are just on my desk right now. These are the ones I use regularly for spending, for highlighting my day-to-day highlights, just different things. And those are all the colors of the mild liners I have with me. So this pen pouch, the black pen pouch, can be a highlighter slash black ink gel pen pouch. And that way it's not too much. It closes up really easily and it's not too bulky. And it's easier for me to have them organized that way in my mind also. So that is that pouch. And now I'm digging through this sort of archive pouch and taking out water brushes to start because I have a few of them and not all of them have water inside because I haven't used them regularly. But these two I have used recently, so they still have water in them, and so I wanted to separate those. As you can see, the ones here, I think this is like the small and the large tip. I have not used those. The ones I took out are the flat tip and the medium tip water brushes, and I have used those very recently. So I'm going to go ahead and separate those and keep the empty ones inside this quote-unquote archive pouch. I am also taking out this ink syringe. This is a blunt tip syringe so that you don't accidentally poke yourself while you are playing with fountain pen ink, or in my case, mostly just putting in fountain pen ink inside my fountain pens and cartridges and converters. So that I also want to take out for easier access. This one right here is a cube from Ateliers Penelope. It's just a very well-made canvas cube in this really pretty green color. I have used this for quite some time as a everyday sort of go-to tool. So it's got pretty much everything from scissors to rulers to gel pens to markers, and it's just like a mishmash of everything that I use on a regular basis. It even has some travel scissors in there and paper cutters because I don't really know where else to put those things so that I'll actually remember. Here's a glue stick as well. So it's got a little bit of everything and it just sits on my desk and it's really helpful for me to have. This is where I would like to put my Uniball 1 gel pens that I took out earlier so that I can actually see them on a regular basis and use them. But I need to make some room. So I am taking out the pens that have not been used in quite some time, and they're really dusty as well. And so when I saw how dusty some of these pens were, because I just haven't touched them in a very long time, I figured I would set those aside and reorganize them somewhere else. Even this ballpoint pen, it's really cute. This was a gift and it's got a little Westie on it and it's a really, really cute pen. So I'm not going to get rid of these pens, but I'm going to set them aside for the time being. And then here's a really old, is this vintage now? Hello Kitty paper cutter. I think it's from my childhood. So I'm just kind of taking a look at which pens haven't I used in a long time, and I just want to make enough space for those Uniball 1 gel pens to go in here. This is a popular one as well, I think. It's the Uni Style Fit. And again, nothing against these pens, it's just I have so many pens that I have accumulated over the years that I'm just not using every single one regularly. And now I'm going to try and organize this to, I don't know, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I think I'm trying to put all the Uniball Signo pens together and all the Zebra Sarasa pens together as much as I can anyway. This is just a cube, like I said earlier. It has no organization pockets or anything like that. So it's only staying up like this because I have that many pens inside and tools. I have wondered before whether or not it makes sense for me to store a lot of my pens vertically this way. I have read that usually it's better to keep them horizontally, but I have used these pens pretty regularly. Like all the ones in here I go to on a regular basis, so I haven't really had issues so far. So this is how I'm keeping them for now. Who knows, maybe in the future I will change up how my pens are displayed on my desk, But as of today, this setup works for me and it's getting used every day. Here is my Delfonics pouch in the small size, and this is also a mishmash of different things right now, which is one of the reasons I am making this video. I have a bunch of markers inside, some stickers, printables, clips, all kinds of things. And on the back here, I have 4 clips, 2 of which I use more regularly than others. There is that Penco clip that I use really regularly these days. And first I'm going to go ahead and look at the pockets in the front. And there are a lot of samples and printables from months and months back that are really nice, but I just haven't seen them. This is going to be a very common comment that I make, is that I just haven't seen them and so I haven't used them. So I took those out and decided to reorganize them. Here I have some fun Guretama San Francisco stickers that I completely forgot about. And one of them is a new pack, so I also set those aside so I can reorganize them later to a spot where I can see them more. I mentioned that I use 2 clips regularly and those are staying on in the back, but these 2, one is Molinta and then the other one is just one from Nintendo. It's the Animal Crossing Blathers clip. They're both really cute. I just don't gravitate towards them for some reason. But I don't want to get rid of them, so I'm just gonna put them in this small inside pocket of the pouch. And then while looking at the inside contents, I thought about briefly just going through one by one, but in the end, I decided to take everything out first so that I can take a look at just what is inside this pouch and then make up my mind as I go. One thing that I know is actually going to stay in this pouch because I'm used to looking for it here is this bone folder. It's really useful for just like folding paper and figuring out, how to structure my Happy Mail. So I really like having that in there, so that's going to stay in there. I have a couple of Posca markers, which are paint markers, and I just have them in these more pastel colors as well as the classic, white Posca marker. And I've accumulated them just over the years randomly, just like one by one, or I got like 2 at a time. And these are more so, in my mind, art supplies that I sometimes use to title things and make things pop out on a page. So I'm going to keep these in here, and I think this Delfonics pouch is really going to turn into like an art supplies pouch. Here are the 2 Zig Clean Color Dot metallic markers that I have. I just have the gold and silver. I know they have the non-metallic series as well, which are very popular. But these 2 are the ones that I have, one with the dot tip, and the other side is more just like a regular marker tip. I use these quite a lot to decorate and letter, so I am going to keep these in here. These markers are also kind of long, so the Delfonics pouch is one of the few pouches that I have where it'll actually fit comfortably. This is the Kakimori steel nib. And I have this in the Tachigawa pen holder. And I really like this combination because the nib fits in here perfectly. And I love that this holder comes with a cap and it's not as long as the Kakimori branded holders. These 2 are classics for me, the Unipin pens, and they're the waterproof ones. I use them to outline my drawings. I have them in the 01 and 02. And then I have these brush pens. 2 of them are the Sign Pen brand. And then I have this brush pen from Sailor. I don't know the name of this particular one, but I've just used it for a long time. And then I do have this extra brush pen from Muji. And those I am going to move because I like to use them for headings and quotes and things like that in my day-to-day journals. So I'm trying to find spots for them in the Ateliers Penelope Cube, which, as I mentioned, sits on my desk and is generally my go-to for daily tools. And somehow they all fit in there pretty nicely, so I'm pretty happy about that. So there you go. And then I have this corn pouch, which I got from Daiso in Japan, I believe. And it's really cute. I've been enjoying using this quite a bit. But the only thing is I have overstuffed it to the point where the stitching is starting to get messed up and I'm having trouble closing up the pouch. When I first put this pouch together, I thought it was such a great idea to have all these markers in one place, but there is just not enough room. So I'm gonna change that up here. I have my Sailor Shikiori markers in here, which I've mentioned, I feel like tons of times in recent videos. I just use them a lot when I journal. And I also have this Russian Petite markers. They're water-based and they're very, very light colors. And they're really great for backgrounds or just really making an area of the paper pop. So if I'm working on a blank page and I just feel like it's a little bland, then sometimes I use these to create like a small background. Again, they're very light and pastel toned, so I thought I would keep them with the Shikiri markers at first, but there just isn't enough room. And for me, in my mind, these are more art supplies related. So I decided to put them with all of my other art supply slash tools in my Delfonics pouch. And I think that makes sense to me. So that's my setup for now. And then the 8 Shikiori markers that I do have, there's really no huge theme to these either. I just kind of picked them up as I went. I started with just having one, and then I picked up a couple colors along the way, and I think I bought a few more when I went to Japan last year. And that fits really comfortably in this corn pouch, and I'm just gonna leave that as is because it works. I know that's where my secure markers are, and yeah, I don't have to think about it when I look for them. These water brushes with water in them, which I'm gonna hopefully use to paint and draw more in my memory keeping journal, and then also this ink syringe that I took out earlier. They're also sort of art tools in my head, so I also decided to put them in the Delfonics pouch. And this clip I'm just gonna place back in the front, and this time there are no extra goodies on the outside pockets, just to keep things really simple. And then these two clips that I use frequently, one is from Traveler's Company. I can't remember where the other one is from, but I really like them both, so I'm just gonna keep them in the back as they were. So that is my setup. I am looking through this other pouch, but I think I decided to just keep it as like an archive pouch for now. So yeah, this is everything after I have shuffled the contents. So the corn pouch again, it has all my Shikiori markers that I like to use for headings, titles, various lettering. I really like the colors that I have as well. This Hinemo pouch is for my highlighters, or really the mild liners that I have, as well as some gel pens with black ink. The Delfonics pouch, which has my clips on the outside for easy access. It just sits to the right of me usually when I journal, and it's full of art supplies and tools, whether they be markers, a bone folder, some outline, or ink syringes, water brushes. They're all in here. And then this archive pen pouch, which I might have to go through separately in a future video at some point because there's just a ton of like ballpoint pens, and I think I have pencils in here as well as some really affordable beginner level fountain pens that I haven't inked up in quite some time. I put my Hobonichi pens in here too, the Jetstreams that are Hobonichi branded. Just over the years, I have collected quite a bit, so they're all sitting in here waiting to be used, and maybe I'll sort through them later, but for right now, it's fine as is. And yeah, my pen cube to the top left, my daily tools, and I am happy to report that having my brush pens here and my Uniball 1 gel pens here have worked out really well for me so far, and I really like that I brought those out just in more plain view when I'm journaling. It's so full now, actually, it's quite funny to see, but again, it works for me, so I'm happy with it. And that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this live process of me reorganizing the contents across my various pouches and cases. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.